Hey, what's up, everybody? I am going to show you how I do level to level um, using the hourly chart. Now, I want you to know that there's some people who I love dearly. They're great coaches, they're great people, they're great guys who claim to have either invented the hour to level to level charting system, or it's some kind of secret sauce that you should pay big bucks for. And I'm just telling you right now, any mastermind you go to is pretty much, I would say, 90% of the masterminds will teach you level to level. There may be some variations though, and I'm going to give you those variations that I use. But it's not some big secret. It's not proprietary. It's silly to say that it is. So I've done 5 masterminds myself. Everyone used the level to level on the hourly system. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'm just going to open up. Uh, All right, opening them up. Opened up TradingView. It's weird because I have to shrink my screen down for this. Okay, so I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you know how to use TradingView. I'll mention out loud what I'm doing, but I'm going to pull up. Let's use ES. We can go with ES here. And the first thing you want to make sure you're doing when doing level to level, let me turn that off, is go to this right here, this button that looks like a hexagon or stop sign. You click on that and you go to session and you go to regular trading hours. Okay, so electronic trading hours is after hours, it's all hours the market is moving, but there's very little liquidity in those hours, so you need to make sure that you have regular hours selected. So there's 7 candlesticks in a day, one being actually only a half an hour because we open within an hour. So I'm going to right click and go, sorry, I'm going to right click on a level and go, I thought I could just remove. Do you really want to delete your alert? Yeah, I want to delete my alert. I want to delete, there's a way to delete all, remove drawings. Okay, so right click, remove drawings. There we go. Okay, so here we are on the 1 hour, and I'm going to, let's see, let's go to rewind, and I want to let's go way back to here. Okay, see if we can mark levels here. Okay, so basically with level to level, what you need to be doing is focusing on the candlesticks where the trend changes. And what I mean by that is from red to green and green to red. And we are going to be marking the open of the body of the candle, and we are going to ignore the wicks. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to horizontal line, which is also Alt H. And I'm going to turn on my magnet. It's weird because I don't use Alt H, I use Alt J, which is horizontal ray. Okay, so I use horizontal ray, and like I said, we want to mark the open of the candle where the trend changes. First step, okay? So let's say, let's go back to the end of a day here. Okay, so here's a day. This is Wednesday, okay, and we want to start marking our levels. So you can work from back to front and front to back. Now, I'm constantly doing from front to back with a new name. So say I have no levels marked on ES and I've never traded ES, or I don't have any old levels or anything. I'm going to start at the front, and what I want to do is find where the trend changes and mark the body. Okay, so this goes from red to green, and I want to mark the open of the candle of green, which is the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to press Alt J, and I got my magnet on, so it snaps to the body. And then I'm going to go back here, and we have a trend change from this candle to this candle. And I'm going to mark the open of the candle at the trend change, which is the top of this red, because that's where the candle opened. Then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to mark, so here we have a trend change here. And I'm going to mark the open of the candle at the trend change, which is bottom of the green. So top of the red, bottom of the green. Now, so we are going backwards, and here's the deal. In order to get a level to be no longer valid, I'm going to press play, and we get a candle close through a level. Okay, so moving forward, this level is now invalidated. Okay, boom, deleted, because this candle closed through it. Not the wick, but the body. Okay, so now we're going to move forward. Here's a trend change, assuming the day closed. So I don't mark the levels until the end of the day market close. Okay, I don't invalidate levels until the end of the day. So if we have a level that we close through in the middle of the day, I still leave that level up until the day's over. Okay, so I'm waiting for days to end here, and it ended. Okay, so we have a new level here because it goes from green to red. I'm going to mark the open of the candle at the trend change. Okay, I'm not going to mark the open of this green candle because we got a red level closing through it. Okay, same with here. There's a green candle here, but however, I could mark it because technically this day hasn't opened yet. Does that make sense? So when this day opens, I wish I could just do one day at a time. When this day opens, it cuts through it, invalidates that level. Okay, but we do get open of the red level, of the red candle here. We go down, see if I can get one more candle out without going past it. Okay, there it is. We get a trend change here, open of the candle of the red. We don't mark the green because we got a red close. I would normally mark this, but we got a red close through it, so I'm going to leave that. And that's how the day would end on that day. So let's see if we can go to the next day. 5. Let's see where we at. We got one more candle to go. There's the end of that day. Okay, and we actually got a candle close through it. So I'm going to delete that level. And this one, because we got a candle close. However, we got a new level here and a new level here, which is pretty close to where this one was. And then I'm going to go forward. Okay. Oh, I press spacebar to play because I used to be a video editor. So spacebar is always one. Okay, good. We're left off where we were. So next day, come to market open. Here's what I'd be looking for. I want to see a long off of this level to this level, right? Or if we fail this level, I would probably look to short this level here. And yes, there is a level right here. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. That day sucked. I'm going to delete this level and mark the open of this candle here and the open of this candle here. Those are where our levels are at. Okay, so we had a ranging crappy day. I wouldn't mark here anywhere because we have this red candle close here. Let's see what happens the next day. Okay, so we gapped down. Look at that, it gapped down right to the level. Okay, we opened at that level. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so there's that day. Yes, I would mark this, and I guess I could mark that one. All right, so if I were long, I would want to probably look for a long off of this level from here to here. Let's see, next day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweet. All right, another choppy kind of crap day. No real trend. Getting this range tested. Now I bet you there's a level back here somewhere. There is. Okay, so there's a level here. There's a level here. Let's see. Yep. Look at how that worked. Right, bounced right off of those levels. Okay, and we also have been invalidating some levels over here. Like this one. That's a good level because you see we test it the next day, right? But that level is invalidated. Now, if a wick goes through the level, it does not invalidate the level. Okay, so let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, Did we do an extra one there? No. Sweet. All right. This level and this level are invalidated because we had a candle close. And then we put a new level here and a new level here. Okay, so this is the 101 of hourly levels. These are the main levels to use. And then once I show you this and we get this down, I will show you what else I do. Okay, so I'm going to delete that level and I'm going to mark this one, right? Because there's nothing invalidating it. And I could mark that one too. Done. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at how it reacted off of this level here. Okay, so this one's invalidated because we closed through it. This one's invalidated because we closed through it. So here is the level, the new level there. This level is now becoming a very important level, and it's been used from way back when. And so if there's no levels on something that's, let's say Tesla went up to its all-time high of like 400 after the splits, and now it's at 220 ish or whatever it's at. It was in a huge downtrend in 2022, and then all of 2023 in 2024 we were stuck kind of in the lower areas. So if we were to come back up to say those 2021 level highs, we would pull from 2 years ago those levels. Okay, they would go all the way across 2 years, because what else are we going to do? We don't have levels, and they're still valid until we get a candle close through them. So there will be times where you will be going backwards really far, excuse me, to find old levels. And one of the benefits of TradingView is it's very easy to do that, whereas if you're using something like Thinkorswim, it only allows you to go back so far before it gets really bizarre. So TradingView in my mind is the best, and it took me a long time to accept that fact, but it is. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do it backwards, okay, which is very easy. I just need the products button. There it is. Go to the chart. And I'm going to right click and go to reset chart view. Okay. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to remove drawings. All right. So now we have ES here with literally no levels or anything. And I'm going to start, let's say I'm looking to start trading ES and I have no levels. I'm going to start from the front and work backwards using the same thing. We can't put a level where it's been invalidated. So down here is a level. Okay. And then I'm going backwards. This is all invalidated. This is not invalidated. Back here, this is good. This is good. Okay. And this, if this seems a little weird, it gets so easy. You don't. I'm going to mark this, even though it's not technically a trend change. This is an important high. This is a significant level to use, because levels end up actually being market highs and lows. Sorry, higher highs and higher lows. And this, I would say, is important. Even though it goes from red to red, this one stands out as a real level to me. This is invalidated, right? We have this right here invalidating this level. Back here is a good level. Okay. I'm going to mark this one because to me this is, well, it is a gap. So yeah, I'll mark it. Sometimes when I have gaps on the hourly chart, what I do is I will take the box tool, and I have my box tool set to go all the way to the right. And so if you go to right click and you go to settings, I believe extend to right. Yeah, you click extend to right and it'll shoot down your time frame. So you can remember, like, hey, there's a gap down here that we could be filling. And I might not realize that unless I put that box there. Does that make sense? So if I'm watching the hourly and it looks like this, I know that, hey, if we break this level, there's a chance that we could even get a gap fill to the downside eventually, right? So anyways, Let's continue with this. And I'm just pressing Alt J to make these. There's a level here and a level here, but since they're so close together, I'm going to choose the further one. Okay. All these levels here, they're all invalidated by this crap, right? So this is invalidated, this is invalidated, this is invalidated. These are what I call 5 out of 5 levels. These are the legit real levels that are based off of the hourly trend change. This is kind of a curiosity. It's not technically a 5 out of 5 level, but it does kind of, nah, I'm going to ignore it. Yeah, it's nothing. So let's keep going. Here's a level. Here's a level. Oops. Open of the red, top of the red, bottom of the green, bottom of the green. Okay, big jump. Bottom of the green. And I'm going to get into this area. This would be considered part 2, more secondary, more advanced. This is invalid. This is invalid. This is invalid. Pretty much all of this is invalid because we have all this marking here. There's plenty. I wouldn't go back here unless we were starting to get down in this area. So like I'm not marking up everything in history, you know what I mean? I'm just going back far enough to get me kind of in an area where I feel like that's enough for what I'm focusing on this week. You know what I'm saying? Um, so 5 out of 5 levels are white for me. And that's what they are. They are the trend change levels on the hourly chart. This is so close to that one that I'm going to delete it. Okay. Now, there are other levels that I call 2 out of 5. Okay. Meaning they're like 2 out of 5 stars or a 3 out of 5 rating. They're not 100% levels. They're important though. They could be something that was a level and has been invalidated, but still holds weight in my opinion. Something that should be noted, like this area right here. There's this, so like this move down is huge and is very unlikely to just happen in one move. So if I was shorting this level here, let's say I put on a short position here, and I'm risking a couple points, 2 points, 3 points. Let's see, let's do. All right, so there's 2.5 points. That's what I normally risk when I take ES right now. Let's say I even held to this, right? That is a 22R. And I just wouldn't try to even imagine capturing that, right? So let's say my stop's a little bigger. Let's just make it 6 points, which I'm not going to trade 6 point stop loss on ES. But I would want to know, like this from that level to this right here, this kind of area, that's a reasonable target. Like we're going to start to see some funk happening between here and maybe even here. Got to get that magnet back on. But they're invalidated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a dashed line, and I'm going to either turn it down to like this or give it a different color. Okay. So I'm going to leave it as gray, but I'm going to darken it. Okay. So those might be a little too dark. Those levels are still noteworthy to me. Like, I'm not going to hold through this entire move or expect that kind of a thing to happen, but if I'm in a short position, I want to know where these previous higher highs were. Why can't what happened to this? It's weird. Like locked up. Ugh. Every software has its thing. Okay, so if I wanted to hold through this position, you can see where I'm going with this. I want to probably at least trim somewhere around here, right? This is a 7R, but again, my stop's not going to be that big. So let's just say this is just hypothetical. This isn't a real trade. you want to know where these areas are, and that is not even the correct level. So I would mark the closer one, this one right here, and I would be on the lookout for that, right? I'd also look at where's the psych number area. Like if this dotted level was like 5,000 exactly, I would also be like, hey, that's a pretty important spot. So I want to keep something there to remind me. Same with the 5,500. You can see we kind of rejected it here. I'm not going to mark that, but I'm just letting you guys know, like, that's also important to consider when you're looking at your levels. Um, and since this is such a big drop, I'm going to also drop. This is just my choice here. 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 level here. So if I were looking for, to hold this, I would take a trim on one of these. These are important to me, especially this one and these first three are pretty important. Maybe not as much this one. I think that's kind of, I don't know. Anyways, you get the idea. You got to make your own call on those. Another 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 5 area that I'm using, um, and I wouldn't take a trade off of it, but I would take a trim off of it, or I just want to know about it, is what level the price closes at. Okay, so that would be the close of the body on the red and the green, right? So these ones I typically will mark like a blue. And we do see price react to them, but I don't take entries off of them. Okay, 2 out of 5 levels, I typically don't take entries off of them. You can see we closed here on this price, and it's the same exact price that we closed on this day, right? Just coming from the other end. This will happen. Here's one from this day, and then look, we bounced off of it. So it has its validity, okay? But you could just trade the hour to hour 5 out of 5 levels, which is what we're mostly doing. The other 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 level is the opening print, which today is right here. These levels I mark yellow in a solid line, okay? And playing opening print is I give it a 2 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5 because it's an important level, but I don't like to take a lot of trades off of opening print anymore because it can really be a place of chop where there's a lot of liquidity but there's no movement, right? So it's just people buying and selling and getting chopped up, and I'm not a fan. I'd rather target opening print, like say if we drop down here on a morning opening sell-off and I were to long this level here, I would want to target this as like a major trim, um, or whatever I feel is appropriate. Sometimes you might want to hold through opening print, sometimes you want to trim. Either way, this is used similarly as a 2 out of 5 level. Okay. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I would not use any other time frames to make levels. Okay, so I know some people might use a 5, but you're gonna have levels every freaking where, and you're not going to, it's just gonna be so complicated. The other levels that I was using was the 15-minute orb opening range break. It's called opening range breakout, and basically, I'm not using that right now either, just because it's just too much stress for me. It's too much trading and it's too much noise, and it doesn't seem to. You could make an entire career out of the 15-minute orb. I've said, just literally playing the breakout and retest of the orb, but I'm not into that right now. Okay, I got into it and I liked it, and then I realized I need to simplify my trading, and I decided to remove it, and I have been doing much better since I removed it. But it was an interesting and fun phase for me because I did, also make some great trades. But I also see that we often fail the orb, and on a break and retest, the retest goes right back in, and it gets a higher rate of stop for me. So I haven't been interested lately. But real quick, the 15-minute orb is just you mark the high and the low of the first 15-minute candle. And that would be the wick. And I mark those when I did mark it in orange. So I have a yellow opening print and an orange orb. The 15-minute. And what I used to do is play the range too. I would long the 15-minute orb and off the bottom and vice versa. And there will be times that it might come up again for me, but as of right now, excuse me, I'm not interested. But that's what it looks like. Okay, so I often try to mark it as it's forming, but like if we bounced off of here and we're already up here and we're only a few minutes away to close, I'll probably mark the bottom of that orb. But make sure that whatever you do, it's accurate. It's just the top and the bottom of the 15 minutes, including the wicks, like the high and the low of day within the first 15 minutes. Does that make sense? So, anyways, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this was helpful.